Next up, David Charles Allen with Village Properties and host of The Hop. That's Home Ownership Podcast. It's a Beautiful Life. Here to tell us about the latest in Santa Barbara real estate. Welcome, David.
Welcome to The Hop. This is David Charles Allen, realtor at Village Properties in Santa Barbara with my good friend and co-host, Patti Teal. How you doing today, Patti?
I'm doing great, David. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful as well. We can jump into how this week's weather is doing in Santa Barbara. We have a little bit of scattered skies in the 70s, mid 70s to upper 60s. Beautiful week ahead of us.
Yeah, the weather has been similarly cool here, in the 70s, just beautiful, sometimes a little bit blustery, but I hear we're going to have a heat spell coming this weekend. By the way, in case you don't know, I'm in the Sedona area, so it can get hot here in the summer.
Yeah, we'll see how it happens if it happens for us too.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting how that all works out together.
Yes, it is.
So in this week's mortgage rates, we're back up to 3.25 for a conforming 30-year fixed and still at 3% for non-conforming jumbo 30-year fixed.
Staying low and driving those buyers to really want to get in on a house as soon as possible.
They are staying low, that's for sure. As you say, between the last 2 weeks, they've gone from 3.15 to 3.25. So they're kind of been going back and forth between that range. Hard to say what's going to happen in the future, but it still is a very good low rate.
Right. And I love the advice that you've been giving to buyers that maybe they have to decide on their most important items that they can't live without in a house, and also to get everything done ahead of time so that they'll look very desirable to the seller.
Yeah, and I think some helpfulness for sellers too is really get everything done ahead of time as well. So there's a way that buyers can be prepared to purchase a home. Sellers can also be prepared to sell a home. And that means most of the time you want to get pre-inspections done. You want to get the house cleaned up. You want to get it move-in ready. Someone can come in and say, I can live here. In this market, people want to move in right away. And if you have all the information available for them, you'll get a lot more people bidding on the home and a higher result in terms of your outcome.
Wow, that's great advice, David. I never heard about getting the inspection done ahead of time, but you actually recommend that people have all that done before they even put their house up for sale?
It depends on case by case, but it is helpful just because in the market when we have so many people competing to purchase homes. What getting inspections done beforehand means is that these people are looking for everything about the home they can, all the buyers are. And if they already see the home inspection report, the termite report, all these other inspections, they feel more comfortable with the offer they're putting. So they might make the offer higher. And also when you get the inspections done beforehand, you can say that the inspections were priced in to the price you were offering it at. So in the middle of escrow, the buyer gets an inspection and has this $5,000 job that needs to be done or something like that. They're most likely going to ask the owner for a credit. If you have inspections beforehand, you say this is already in the home inspection report. We're not going to give you a credit because you were aware of it.
Right.
And
this was taken into account when we put the price on the house. That makes sense. Wow. Great advice.
Yeah, so it goes both ways. Everyone can do the best they can to get the best result with good preparation.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
And then we can jump into the stats this week. Coming soon, 12 new coming soon listings, 39 new listings, 7 price changes, 52 pendings, and 48 closed. So this is a big disparity this week with 39 new listings and 52 pending. So again, keeping a very low supply.
Thanks, David. From co-hosting this show with you, I learn every week how much you care about the people that you're working with to try to do the best by them. Would you give your contact information?
They can call me at 805-617-9311 or check me out online at www.davidcharlesallen.com or send me an email at david@davidcharlesallen.com. And then you said you had something to talk about Heirlooms, correct?
Well, yes. A listener sent us an article And the name of the article, he clipped it out of the newspaper, is called The Family Heirlooms That Our Children Don't Want. Well, of course, this relates to me and my storage units and my garage filled with stuff, and I get too sentimentally attached to things. And it was really an article that was written, just touched my heart. It was very cute. The columnist was Robbie Shell. And she talked about, these plates that she'd saved that her mother had given her. I mean, so many things that she had saved. And she kept offering it to her son and his wife. And pretty much they'd turn it down. Oh, too ornate, too this, too that. I think they took a couple utilitarian things. It's a really good reminder for me because, as I think I've told you, I save stuff. I have angels from my mom in a storage unit. I have plates and Christmas things, and I just have to bite the bullet and get rid of them. But they had a comment I wanted to ask you about in this article. It said, I'm reminded once again that younger generations make their own choices. More to the point, they aren't hoarders. They take only what they need now. Having seen the degraded world they will inherit, they are dedicated to sustainability, recycling, preservation of the environment, fewer material goods. My generation is still catching up. I wondered if you agreed with that.
Well, I think it's all about utility, like you're saying. If things are useful that can be passed on, why not take them and repurpose them in some way? But a lot of things potentially aren't useful. At least me personally, I don't like to carry a lot of things with me just because I do feel if you have all this stuff, it kind of limits you to where your movement can be. I used to never like buying big pieces of furniture because I thought I'd be stuck with them forever. And then I realized like if I buy them at a thrift store or even like an antique store and keep good care of them, I can repurpose them back into someone else that will use them too. So it's not like buying new and continuously starting the trend of like continuously have to buy new things. Heirlooms as well. We have such good memories that they can really stay with you if you believe and you remember those people that are with you. I mean, it doesn't have to be attached to certain items. It's hard getting rid of everything, but there's a couple items like my grandparents have that I've kept along, but it's just like one or two items from each person. And every time I have or see those, it reminds me of them. But it's great to have that memory of them are always going to be with you as well.
Right. But one or two items, I think, is the key right there. I'm thinking right now, I know my mother thought enough to write out in her will to give me her wedding china. It was always so very special. That's what she called it, to get these pink plates out with the pink floral design on them. And they meant a lot to my mom, but I really don't think any of my kids are going to want them. So I guess I'll just have to part with them.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty in it as well. Like if someone else can see value in it and get use out of it, that's still spreading your mother's love for them through somebody else. It doesn't have to be you or your kids. As long as someone's getting some enjoyment out of them and getting pleasure using them, it doesn't mean that just you have to hold on to them. Anyone can really find enjoyment from them.
Right. Well, I hate to give you yet one more job to do, David, because I know you already are helping so many people in buying and selling their house, but I might have to like hold up an item and say, David, can I get rid of this? Oh. And maybe you can help me.
I used to always do that for friends, clean out their houses and stuff like that.
You did? Oh,
and
my
organize
goodness.
For them. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, that could be a business in itself.
Yeah, clean out, organize, and then sell. It's more of a psychological thing. Because when they try and do it themselves, they keep everything.
Yes, it is more of a psychological thing. It's very helpful to have somebody with you to say, come on, Patty, you're never going to use that. You don't need that, and your kids aren't going to want it.
Exactly. You don't tell them to throw it away or not. Just ask them why they're keeping it. Does that mean, are you going to keep it in a box if you use it for enjoyment and reminders of the people that love that maybe passed? It's like, but it's in a storage box that you'll never see. It's something where they're not getting use out of every day, but it's stuffed away in a box. Like someone can have more use for it if they have it out and about. It's just might not be you. So.
Wow. If you're not too busy, David, when I get back to Santa Barbara and eventually clean out that packed to the brim storage unit, would you help me with that?
Of course.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate it.
You're welcome, Patty.
Yeah. Well, this was a fun episode. Keep the faith, you buyers out there. You will eventually find your house. Sellers, you have to buy a house too once you move. So it's all going to work out. But I know these are difficult times.
Yes. Let's give it a go next week, Patty.
Thank you, David. Bye-bye.
Bye.